But nothing that he has heals here, unless I misread something by accident. He doesn't have a healing mechanic. I guess it's just to help him, help others heal him. Kind of weird that they gave that to him. I kind of want everyone. Oh, oh my God! Please stop! Don't say anything. It's right there. So someone in the comments is gonna blow me up, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a subscriber of my channel, today is a good day. Today is a day where there are videos flying out of the woodworks. We got so many videos coming out, and of course, can't forget about Knights Chronicles. They got a brand new update as well. Of course, this is going to be part of the Knights Chronicles content creator program, especially an update, because an update is very important to see, you know, how the devs have been listening to the community, and if we give a damn and if we don't. So like, it's very important that when these updates, these dev notes and stuff come out, that we cover it, especially my channel. Have to cover it and see what's going on. So let's look through it. Just a quick thing of this. We're gonna go through first. Vladi is getting his epic quest, so that will be live in a few. That's a couple hours or something like that, or like whatever. Maybe you want to reset or something. I should actually probably finish my Evo dungeons, because when the game closes, usually you do all your like daily stuff and then it resets and it's like yay. So that's gonna be live, and that's gonna. Should I cover that right now? Yeah, let's do it. Let's cover Vladi's costume change. I'll do it actually in this video, but I will not do the other two. I will keep those separate because this is not a new character. I like to keep my new characters blind, and you know how it goes. So you'll see a Momo video after this, and then finally that Spider Queen. I love that design. That's a way to sucker me right in, and she's the Advent. So woo. So let's look at Vlad. Now I know he obviously has bleeding because he's like a vampire or whatever like that. So let's just quickly read over these. 50% chance to cause. This is leader skill. 50% chance to cause bleed for 30% for 2 when allies attack. So everyone has the chance to bleed. Now what's cool about bleed in this game is that you can't remove it. I somewhat don't like that. I never liked bleed because of that factor. Once it's on you, it's on you. But for some reason, computer can stack bleed, like in Lust's dungeon from the Full Metal Alchemist dungeon. But for some reason, like I don't think we can stack it, which would be really good if you can stack it multiple times, like Ebb and Wound. So the S1 is going to inflict damage equal to blah blah blah, 50% chance to cause bleeding. I wonder if this makes it 100% if he's the leader. I'm kind of curious. That'd be kind of cool to know. Effective with costume equip. Oh wait. Oh, did that change or something? No, it doesn't. All right. I gotta. Let's just watch with the costume equip, because we obviously he's an R unit, so we really don't care about what it was before. We only care about what it is now. So here we go. So the S2 is going to be a single target nuke, 80% chance to cast Looming Death for 1 turn if the target is bleeding. So that's going to be very effective, very effective way. Almost, you know, because Looming Death, it doesn't matter who puts it on, and as you guys know, me struggling in the time space void recently, this would be great. Just put Looming Death on everyone. It's on a pretty short cooldown, skill cooldown on 2, and with some help from Sid or with Ellie, with Alphonse, you can definitely keep spamming this and get her done. Looming Death is a very strong ability when you can pretty much abuse it in any way, shape, or form. Now the S3 for some reason has loads of stuff. So here we go. We got it is a cone attack, 100% chance to cause bleeding equal to I gotta start reading that. Caster gains adrenaline, and adrenaline pretty much means that he's likely to get another turn. So what they're so far calling for is the S3 into S2 to kill all the looming. That's pretty much how that works. And then you just S1 to keep people bleeding. That's pretty much him so far. So let's look at the passive. Restores the caster's HP by 5% when attacking a bleeding target. Grants protection to 1 ally for 1 turn at the end of the turn. Now that's kind of weird. I'm assuming something else is gonna give him something like to protect himself, because I think he is a hybrid. So he's not necessarily Tanks McGee. You know, I'm pretty sure he's a hybrid. He's not I know he's not a tank, and I don't think he's an attacker. So that's kind of weird that you would cast protection on others. But it must be something. Oh wait, I got caught. I got caught. I got caught. Why did I get caught? You gotta look at this. Restores the caster's HP by 10% when attacking a bleeding enemy. Increases the caster's counterattack chance by 40% and increases their recovery amount by 100% when the caster's HP is 50% or below. So when you're half health, you have a higher chance to counter, and you will recover more HP. Now, did I miss anything where it says that he heals? No, not yet. So let's look at this. Grants immortality with 50% of HP upon death, but will not be revived if while burned. Haha. Activates 2 turns per battle. Nice. 100% chance to hide for 2 turns when an ally receives a normal status. Now, that's kind of strange. That's actually very useful. Obviously, like if they're running Cynthia, he's gonna get a chance to hide, right? So it's 100%. So as soon as they get a stun or anything like that, he is hiding. Now, increases their recovery amount by 100% when the caster's HP is 50% or below. But nothing that he has heals here, unless I misread something by accident. He doesn't have a healing mechanic. I guess it's just to help him, help others heal him. Kind of weird that they gave that to him. I kind of want everyone. Oh my God! Please stop! Don't say anything. It's right there. So someone in the comments is gonna blow me up, dude. Restores the caster's HP by 10% when he attacks. So every time he attacks a bleeding enemy, he's gonna heal when he's okay. Gotcha. Ooh, that's I feel the flames. I'm burning up. I feel the flames. That's cool. I don't know if they changed this because I honestly don't remember what his old ultimate looked like. So there you go, boom, and now you're bleeding. You got caught in the bat tornado. All right. So I already embarrassed myself enough. So of course now we have the another light attacker, which is a chick on a dog. So that's cool. And I know it's a wolf. And secondly, the Spider Queen. Those are going to be in 2 separate videos to give them their natural respect of what the heck they do. So I have no idea at the moment, and we'll get into that when we can. But it's nice to note, like I already mentioned, the Web of the Spider, Arachna Queen Advent thing, is that she is actually going to be the new Advent hero, and I hope she's great because I love creepy, crawly. I love monsters. She's not really a monster. She reminds me of Elise from League of Legends. So she's not a true monster, but she's close enough. Like I want like Ian's like a wolf, but like I want more monster stuff, and she's pretty close to it. Like she has the multiple things, so I really like stuff like that. It just makes me like feel like every character doesn't have to be a human, and if she's somewhere in the storyline that I know I won't read, that'd be cool too. So far so good. Another epic quest. I probably won't be doing it. I don't care for him whatsoever. I'm just gonna do Lydia so far because she's kind of broken. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing that. We'll see if those 2 are good. And then MARDUK has an let's see, this is a special costume, new epic special costume, which can be acquired for free. So MARDUK, from what I read, is that not only is 3 new hero costumes, new special. So this one is a new special quest thing that he actually can get, but it's free. But I don't know why they didn't put it with here, unless it's whatever. I don't know. So I'm assuming it's free. This one is free to do. It's an epic quest that is free, which I hope, like I said, that you need to do, plus the deluxe pack. And like I said, feel free to make that $20 like the other ones, and then make an epic quest for every single special costume that is out. We'll go into this one real quickly as well as actually, no, it'd be better to go down. Yes, look, other costumes. All right, let me just go down to his actual changes. So this is base MARDUK getting a change, right? So let's go to this. So now his leader skill is going to be, he does more damage to taunted enemies. His S1 is going to be realistically the same. It's just that you're going to have a little bit higher chance to taunt, which he kind of needed. Yeah, he had an outdate. He had the forgiving version of taunts, and then all these other characters came out, and it was like, buddy, I need help. Then boom, we got the taunting strike. Now this doesn't give defense anymore, which is the only reason why I actually kept my MARDUK dupes. I was like, oh, I'm going to have the really crazy S2, and it's like, that doesn't work. So inflicts damage. Get 8% attack to all enemies, 40% chance to taunt, which is much higher than it was before, which was sad. Increases all allies max HP by 30% for 2 turns. So now he has like the Ica buff, which is kind of weird that he, damn it, come on. I know, but see, like you said, he has a decent taunt. I wonder if this goes up to 100%. It's at least gonna go up to like 65. That's at least like minimum going up to 65 with skill ups. So S3 is also going to be inflicts damage a cone, which is weird because it used to, he used to have an AoE. Now this is a cone attack. 70% chance to stun for 1 turn if the target is a attack or hybrid. So this is similar to Nikita's. I would rather have it been the same AoE thing that they had before, and this could have just been higher. I don't know if they really needed to mess too much with that, but hey, whatever. He seems, with just this alone, his base kit, this is decent. I do know this is a little bit better, so we gotta go with the passives. Decreases damage taken from allies with abnormal statuses by 50%. So, I mean, allies, enemies. So pretty much if you're working with any of that bad mojo, you're doing 50% less damage. Now, what sucks about this, what kind of sucks about this is that bosses can really only be taunted. That's the only like abnormal status you can put on it. So, but you could definitely taunt up a boss, and you could definitely put every other thing on any other monster. So this is going to be really, really strong. Removes all debuffs and increase the attack by 200% for 1 turn if there are 2 or less surviving allies, including the caster at the start of the turn, start of his turn, assuming. So he gets a attack buff because the second, you'll see why very soon why he gets an attack buff. Because he's a tank, so you would assume like, why is he getting attacked? I would have preferred maybe they just made him a hybrid, like changed his class entirely, which would have been nice. Activates resolve upon taking fatal damage, so you know we got that. He always had a resolve though, to be fair. Restores 50% of his HP and has a 100% chance to taunt all enemies, which if he's the leader will be doing more damage. Now, and that's how it once per battle. Now I think this is flat out. I think this might be separate. Inflicts damage equal to 80% of attack that ignores defense upon counterattack. I don't think he needs to resolve for this to happen. I think that is just a blanket statement that's boom right there. So obviously you're going to run that counter. You're taunting enemies and then you want to counter back after you taunted them and then you do ignore defense. But since he is a tank and yes, he only gets this attack buff when there's less people alive, it just seems really weird. That they gave him something like that. I would have preferred maybe if his S1 scaled off. They haven't really done that in this game when, you know, different scalings, and one of my favorite things, stuff scaling off speed, HP, defense, stuff like that. So it's like he gets an attack buff when there's not that many people, but if, you know, he's taunting everyone and keeping them alive, then how are you really supposed to get this effect? If there are 2 or less surviving allies, including himself, like that's kind of, you know, you're gonna build attack on MARDUK. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I mean his counterattacks will do decent damage, I guess. We'll see how that works out, but that's pretty much his thing. Then you go to his epic skin, which he looks dramatically cooler, right? But I think he's still a tank, right? So you still have all this stuff, still the same, but S3 turns into it ignores defense. Very small change, you know, it's a very, very small change, and now it ignores defense with the costume, and you can hide it, so you might as well get the costume. It literally does the same thing, just ignores defense. Why not have that? This one changes to, instead of 1 turn, it's 2 turns. Again, might as well get the costume. It makes no sense not to have it. And this one, activates on for 1 turn. I think this is the same. I feel like this is exactly the same, but it's like written differently. Yeah, it's like they make it seem like this is different, but I think it's the same. I'm probably missing something that I know this is actually written. It activates resolve for 1 turn upon taking, like I guess here you activate resolve and then you can die. And then this one you activate resolve and then it lasts an additional turn, so you have resolve for 2 turns. Is that what that's saying? I guess that might be the difference. But yeah, he looks a lot different. He looks really cool. And his costume is like just a slightly better version of his thing. So I guess there's really no reason not to get it because it's a free epic quest to just ignore defense and resolve for 2 turns and yeah, get a longer attack buff. So yeah, get it. You know, like I said, I think that should be how they do all of them going forward. just because it just kind of makes sense. Also, these characters are getting generic ones, Margarita and Henrich, which I don't really approve of that, because there's so many other characters that need to be that should be getting costumes that are older, that we could use the actual buffs, like, because you get a little 7%, a little something razzle dazzle in there. So yeah, next up is going to be Damien, and that's going to be they changed his leader skill. They changed his S1 that is now is going to do 100 plus do additional damage. No chance to do damage. I've always hated skills that do that. Based on each Buster Spear, which obviously we're going to have to go to the passive to find that out. He has a higher chance to stun on base, it looks like. So this might even go up to 100% or like 85 or something like that, which is great. S3 is going to be, again, inflicts damage to the thing, 3 targets, 100% chance to deal damage equal to one that ignores defense if striking 2 or more targets. So obviously, I just kind of I don't know why they're giving everyone ignore defense like out of nowhere. I don't. It just seems kind of weird. Ignore defense was supposed to be like a more strategic thing. Like a character would have ignore defense to counteract like certain comps and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of units that have ignore defense right now. It's kind of, I think they might need to slow down on that or come up with more strategic ways to make a character good. Like I really like Elizabeth. She was a really cool character that had a crazy way of being an attacker. Like she did it with buffs and debuffs and stuff like that, and spraying them out, and that was that's really intricate. Just giving a bunch of people like more damage and ignore defense. Just like, yeah, that'll solve it. All right, so obtains 1 Buster Spear at the start of the wave. So he starts off with 1. So this is his S1's gonna do slightly more damage, right? Because he gets 1. He can only have 2. I always hate that there's caps for these things. Like I'd rather him spend the resource and like lower it or thing like that. Kind of like Aristo. If he had a hard cap, but his cap was like 100, so it was like kind of hard for him to get up to it. And then you can kind of like balance whether or not you wanted to use that or have additional damage. If there are 2 or more Buster Spears, consumes all of them to inflict 60% additional damage when attacking and grant the caster damage immunity. Then we come down here when he gives an AoE attack buff for 3% when he gets damage immunity, which is great because you can also pair him with other characters that give him damage immunity. And he gets multi-strike 50%, counterattack 50% when he has damage immunity. So overall, just a dramatically better character. And this is not a costume. This is just his rework. So I'm happy I kept my dupes. So that's pretty cool. If anyone kept him around, maybe you'll get like a Knight Selector or something like that. I think I actually did get one, but they'll usually try to bless people with it. Or if you get him in the future, you won't be too mad, right? Very, very cool. We already went over this one. Next up is going to be Ashley. Fucking that Wario. Alright, so next up, they're changing the multi-strike to counterattack. And I do like counterattack better than multi-strike just because you get hit more often than you get the chance to hit. So I always feel like you'll have more chance to do more damage with counterattack than you will with multi-strike. But it's neither here nor there. So this one is going to do more damage. Oh no, this is the same. This is the same. His S3 does change though. Instead of it lowering the debuff by 1 turn, it's remove all buffs from the target, and a chance to stun is about the same. So now you can see that they're changing certain effects on these characters to just make them overall more viable, to where some stuff is more subtle, that every character is getting this overhaul of just more guaranteed. And I actually think that that's what these characters need to have. They need to have 100% buff removal. And that might sound crazy, but it's just that you want characters to do a specific thing. So if I'm looking for a stripper, like a character that's gonna strip buff, I want it to be 100%. That's just me. I want 100%. So, and then we changes his passive, the Ebon Wound passive, that now that when he attacks an Ebon Wound target, it can spread to 2 adjacent enemies instead of, I think before was just 1. Same thing with the stacking. And then they also changed this, that inflicts the, so he had ignore he was the originator of the ignore defense. He ignores defense when he hits a Ebon Wound target, but increases the caster's multi-strike chance for 2. So he gets multi-strike chance here for 50% for 2 turns. I guess when he attacked, they put a period here, but it only makes sense. If you attack a Ebon Wound target, you get the buff. That would make more sense, but they did put a period here, like they're separate things. That's why that MARDUK one kind of confused me. I'm not gonna go through any of these because it's just they pretty much nerfed every single, not every single, but they nerfed a decent amount of the 3-star advents. Zenon got it. Sharon got it. Renta got it. Where's my favorite one? Natasha got it. Julie got it. Like everything is just like reduced. Liberto got it. This one's the best. Reina's is like the best. It's like we just lowered the health of everything. Same thing with Mao, who actually her dungeon was actually legitimately a little bit of tricky. And I have a lot of multi attackers to make sure that you're always the AI. If you wanted to auto it anyway, on manual it's like a breeze. But like I said, I think a lot of these they were easy to do. It's just that the stamina going into it and failing sucked. Unless you had a guide or something like that to go through them. Like I said, I don't think that it needed to be made even easier. But yeah. You know, oh look, they nerfed his evasion. Oh damn. Woo, that sucks. But like I said, there was ways to strip his buff. There was a lot of ways to get around stuff. But I guess maybe because I remember the feeling of figuring out a 3-star dungeon, and the same thing figuring out a 4-star dungeon, and the overwhelming like, we got it, guys, and like spreading the news. But when you make it really easy, it's just like, now it's just gonna be focused on breezing through that, put it on auto, and then go straight to your 4-star dungeons, which, like I was saying, I think I said in another video, or I was just talking to I think it was in comments, is that if you make the 3 stars too easy, that people might go thinking, oh, I can do a 4-star now, and then just go up to Kali and get massively murdered. Because the 4-star advents are not made equally. Like Kali's a different beast from Britain, like, and and so on and so forth. Like you got to be careful with that. Let's see, improvements to the evolve function. I had an option to select Advent heroes, so this is pretty cool. So I guess if you wanted to just level up your Advent fodder, this is a nice easy way to do it, so you don't have to go searching, which I found very annoying actually. So I do approve of this change. Is that nice little, I want to level up my Advents, boom, instantaneous, beautiful, love it. Special dungeon Advent, added recommended hero ranking system. Again, I don't think this is that useful, because even if you see that these characters use you gotta see the strat of the dungeon, because the dungeon strat is what makes it, you have to see the strat. I still think that they need to just showcase what the dungeon does. Why does Sinclair why is he alting randomly? Because if you do certain, like, I'll take Sinclair for example, right? You hit up Sinclair, you hit him, like, you do like 25% of his health. He actually has like 2 rage modes. So like if you don't know that and you like half health him for some reason, and then all of a sudden he starts alting, that might throw you off, because you didn't hit him for half health before and he didn't do that, and now you did a little bit more damage because you started upgrading your units, and then all of a sudden he's alting and killing your units before now you actually upgraded your units, and it punished you because you didn't know about it being like some type of DPS raise. And the only thing you saw here was like, oh, you gotta use you gotta use Christian. But like that, I do feel like I would have preferred them to specify every aspect of each dungeon in game without the need to go on YouTube. And yes, I make YouTube content, so it's like, yes, without needing to go watch my videos and my guides or anything like that, or anyone else's guides, it would have been great, because then you could just look in the game and that's it. This is how this is done. Beautiful, open and shut case. This is, I feel like, gonna screw more people over, because the OG vets that are running dungeons more often than the casuals are going to be running comps and units that probably can't run other people can't run. Imagine Lily's dungeon when you see like, oh, they're using Amelia and Junia. Oh yeah, let me just, and then yours is not up to snuff, and then you're like, well, I'm using the best units. This recommendation thing is garbage. So I definitely think that they should have, instead of this. Oh, it does say stage effects. Maybe I should shut up. I might have just rambled for no reason. I'm curious of what that stage effects button is. If they tell you every single aspect of the dungeon, they should, by the way, because they don't give you back stamina for failure, then I will retract that statement humbly, because that's what needs to be there. The heroes is based on what you have. It doesn't matter if you see the recommended hero if you don't have it, but if you can find out what the dungeon is, like it's in the dungeon, then you can be like, oh, abnormal status sounds good. That's it. And you're like, oh, who has abnormal status that I have? That's it. That's how that works. It doesn't matter if Damien is the best if you have no Damien. It doesn't matter if Navi's the best if you don't have Navi. It doesn't matter if Aristo is one of the best if you don't have Aristo. You have to be able to just make it with what you have, and you'll be able to do that if you know what's in the dungeon. So yeah. Town, Max Goddess is now you can get 6 stars, which is great. Because, I mean, as long as the cost of it should stay 300,000. So that would be great. So that's just good overall if you can now get, 6-star fodder from spamming that, which is great. Guild Dungeon auto function, great. Because the outer ring is a breeze. And same thing eventually for most people for that second ring. And I don't know about the middle I think most people don't want to optimize the damage there. But hey, if you just want to auto that too, great. Tutorial stuff, obviously more for casuals and returning players, how to play, stuff like that. Growth guide system, this is nice too, again for more casual and returning players. Now they're going to tell you, well, you failed, and this is things that you should consider doing. Enhance your hero, enhance runes, and I get you it changes based on other things, but that's pretty cool too. UI improvements, there we go. More UI improvements. Advent recommended level has been changed to minimum required level. If there is a hero in the team that does not meet the required minimum, pop-up will be displayed. Oh, nice. So if you go in there with Johnny Boy, they'll stay like, hey, bro, you don't want to waste that stamina, all right? You know what I'm talking about? So that's pretty cool. Hero selector UI has been cleaned up a little bit. They changed the arena stuff that includes all variations of the costumes, I guess people, I didn't even know you can do that. Like Cynthia's banned, and you'd be like, well, I got costume Cynthia, so it didn't work. I don't know. Didn't know that even existed. Added more stuff for in the store. Absolutely never spend your crystals on anything besides summons in this game. I have not seen anything that's worth it, and I do include dungeon tickets. In certain scenarios, dungeon tickets and stamina potions, still in my opinion, are not as good as having a brand new character. I always think you should just save your crystals for summons in this game. Now, yes, you can say like, oh, but I need to refresh and refresh. You can do a lot. Obviously, if you're newer, maybe so, but even still, you don't want to use the refreshes when your stamina cap is still low. You want to use your refreshes when your stamina cap is high, so you actually get more out of it. So I always say that saving crystals for banner is better, in my opinion, in this game, because they have guaranteed banners. So you save up 2,000, that's a guaranteed character, point blank. When the new characters come out every time, it's not a mystery, it's not a secret. So why not do that? And it's like, oh, but you can get a little bit more Evo fodder. It's like, great. You're gonna get more Evo fodder the more you play the game anyway. But what you won't get is a new character. So that's up to other people. For me, I think it's always best to save crystals for Evo, unless it was like the other event where it's like, oh, you could have got. If you kept refreshing the Lust Dungeon, technically, people pointed out, if you refresh the Lust Dungeon, you actually would have gotten a, Full Metal Alchemist hero, the selector. Like, when stuff like that happens, yes, then maybe refresh, use those dungeon tickets. But outside of that, no. They should just give you more dungeon tickets in general instead of the stamina pots. So, yep. And then that's pretty much it, guys. We made it. Thank you guys so much for sticking through my long drawn things. It's a pretty good update. There's not much you can say. Like, the worst you can be like, oh, that's a costume, but the costume is free. So at least I hope I read that right. It's free, so the reworks on the characters are free. Everyone's getting ignored defense, so praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, or ignore defense. Vladi is turning into an SSR. Praise be the ignored defense and the rework god. So that's pretty good. I think that this is an overall good update. I still think obviously we want better guild stuff. We want more content. The only content that's getting added is if you want to do Vladi, but people are only gonna do the epic quest if they want the character, because it takes a long time. So to invest into it and you don't care about the character is not that's not what you're gonna do. I even thought about that, because you do get some rewards for doing them, but I'm like, nah, it's too much. It's too much. So next up is gonna be Momo. After Momo, we're gonna do the queen. I always do the character I like the most last, if you guys never knew about that. So yeah, and that's it. What do you guys think? What are you most excited for? Are you not excited at all? You're like, why, Kashi? Why are you still covering this game? Because I like it. Damn it. No matter how bad Verdandi is in the Time Space Void. Dang it. Alright. And not first and foremost, it's like mad minutes into this thing, but if you like the content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I reply to pretty much every comment as best as I can, and specifically we do have the Patreon. Even $1 helps out if you guys want to help fulfill the need for the dream and all that beautiful gushy stuff. That's definitely going to be in there. And we have a Discord channel. Make sure you're in there as well to talk Knights Chronicles. And I will see you guys in pretty much the next 2 videos, right? It was a busy day today.